Hi guys! Today I wanted to talk about some fashion do's and don'ts. I don't mean what not to wear or anything like that, but rather things you should and shouldn't do when you're in the fat acceptance community. This could go for new people or people who've been here for forever, of any age, and my aim is really towards fat people, but thin people could also learn from this. Now, if I don't make any sense, hopefully you'll get the gist of it as I go through, and just as I know it. Everything that I'm talking about is based off my 6 years of experience. I've made a ton of mistakes. I've gone through a lot. But I've learned so much, and I hope that others can learn too. So, let's get started. Do join communities and talk to people. And I know it's kind of hard to do, especially if you're new. Trust me, I know. And even though I'm not new, it's still hard for me to do, but still. The best way to learn in general is to learn by example. If you're learning to love yourself, it helps to not go by it alone. A lot of your work in learning to love yourself will be solitary. It will be by yourself, but it helps to have a community that supports you, that backs you up, that will be there when you need somebody. There are tons of blogs that are nice and supportive. You'll have individual, personal blogs, of just people who know what you're going through, have gone through what you've gone through or going through, who have gone through all the bad stuff and have gone on this journey to loving themselves. And it's great to have them there to understand you when you might not have somebody else to understand you. And it's also good to just have an example. There are also tons of blogs that are dedicated to other things, specific things like fashion and cute haircuts, or just haircuts in general, I guess, to tattoos, and to the Vibo, which is visible belly outline, to just like body parts and just loving yourself. And part of this, a huge part of this, is the ability to find people who look like you, who have bodies like yours, and to find somebody who is like happy and maybe stylish, or just somebody you think is cool, to have somebody who also looks like you, to have a body like yours is awesome, and it's really important to have that. It really is. Don't ignore people's different experiences. And now, this is very, very important, because this doesn't stay in this one community, this one facet of life. Learning to not ignore people's different lives, the way they see things, the way they are treated because of how they are, can go across the board. Everyone's life is different, and while you may have shared experiences, for example, being fat is essentially a shared experience, it doesn't mean everything is the same, and you really, really need to realize this. There are just different things, and this includes fatness. A fat woman has a different experience than a fat man. That's reality. We are treated different because of our gender, because things are like layers. Things are like webs. Everything's tangled up. So you're going to still have sexism and misogyny in fatness. A fat black woman is going to have a different experience than a fat white woman, because racism still has an impact. It's all tangled up. Stuff with gender, like I mentioned misogyny, sexism, but it doesn't end there. There are trans people, non-binary people, people who are gender fluid, and that all becomes something. It doesn't stay at the door when you go into the fat acceptance community. You also have disability. Disability is a huge thing because disability is often ignored. It's in all facets of everything, but it's often ignored. And when it comes to fatness, it is so, not troublesome, but it becomes different. People automatically assume that because you're fat, you're unhealthy. And so when you have fat disabled people, people assume it's because your fatness, whether it is or isn't. And that's a huge problem. And people are like, oh, you're lazy. You know, you need a cane because you're fat. You need a wheelchair because you're fat. And maybe it's the other way around. Maybe it is because you're fat. But it doesn't matter. And people who are disabled get shamed for this. And it's very hard in general for them. But to be a fat disabled person, it's harder. And this is often ignored in general. And it's very ignored in our community. And that needs to change. Gender, race, disability, mental illness, neurological disorders, smaller size fatness. Is that a thing? Like religion, nationality sometimes. You know, all these things come together, and you need to realize that not everyone has the same experiences. So you need to learn when to speak and when not to speak, when it's just time to listen, when it's time to give advice, when it's not your place to talk, or it's not your turn to talk, and you need to learn how to not erase these experiences and the emotions that go with them. Do not, I repeat, do not bring in health. And I say this because there's always someone thin or fat that's like, okay, I'm totally for accepting yourself and loving yourself, but there has to be a limit. Like, you know, what about your health? What about your kids? You're like killing yourself. Oh, dude, you know, you're totally hot, but like, you're so fat that you're totally gonna have a heart attack. Don't eat that pizza slice. Like, stop taking Instagram pictures of, like, unhealthy food. Like, enjoy yourself, okay, whatever. But you're totally setting a bad example. I don't know why I have these voices, but we all know those people. Stop doing that. You really don't give a shit. Don't lie to yourself. And with that being said, what if a fat person has an illness or an injury related to their fatness? What does that have to do with you? Why are you still shaming? Like, why are you saying that somebody shouldn't be able to love themselves just because they were perhaps unhealthy? Whenever somebody does this, I'm just like, would you go up to somebody with cancer and say, you're fucking unhealthy. Why the fuck are you taking selfies? You shouldn't love yourself. Like, would you really do that? Honestly? Think about that. I'm going to bring in something else. It's far more easier to change yourself physically if you are okay mentally. Mental health should come first. You can lose all the weight in the world, but that's not going to change depression. Mental illnesses are always ignored when these concern trolls come in and are like, you shouldn't love yourself, etc., not realizing the experiences that people have gone through. On a lighter note, do participate in vanity. Now, this is another hard thing that needs to be unlearned. We are told not to love ourselves. Whether or not we are fat, if we are thin, whatever, we are told that we should not be narcissistic. We should not have pride. Pride is bad. Blah, 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 blah. That's exactly what it is. It's nonsense, and I'm tired of hearing about it. I spent way too long hating who I am as a person, hating how I look, to be so worried with calling myself beautiful. When I say vanity, I mean taking pictures of yourself, taking pictures of your body, taking pictures of your clothes, loving yourself, celebrating yourself. For God's sake, celebrate yourself. We live in an age where old people will like pretty much yell at the sky and be like, oh, these teenage kids and their freaking selfies, oh, they're so selfish, I don't understand the internet, Gmail. Take pictures of yourself in all angles, make yourself look beautiful, put filters and little stars and freaking smiling cats or whatever. It's better to love yourself than to hate yourself. You do you. How dare anyone take pictures of themselves? How dare young women have pride in their appearance? We are trying to sell you products. We are trying to fester in your self-hate. Buy our lotions. That's basically the problem. And you older people who don't understand how to use Facebook and also really hate Obama, you know, the ones that really hate this millennial culture, you've been brainwashed. It's as simple as that. But I don't even know why I'm talking to you, because you probably don't understand YouTube, and you don't know how to click play on a video probably, and you're still trying to figure out how to get sound working on your computer, and you're just gonna wait for Christmas for your brilliant son-in-law to come along and help you. Do rant, vent, be loud. Take up space. Don't let anyone silence you. If you're angry, be angry. Just don't, like, hurt somebody, but, like, be angry. I think this is the most important one, and this is how I'm going to end my video, because it's a nice transition into my conclusion. Do participate in self-care. Now, this has been a part of some of my other points, like my vanity one. Care about yourself. Okay? You come first. You're gonna have bad days. Everybody has bad days. No matter who you are. Beyonce has bad days, okay? Makes you feel good, if it puts you in a place of like pure bliss, if it helps with those bad feelings, those negative thoughts are silenced, that's self-care. Self-care is very, very important. Alright? You can push and push and push yourself, but you're gonna reach a wall. And you're going to have to deal with that. So, take an hour, take a day, take a week. Take a month, maybe. Make tiny steps, big, giant leaps. It could be something like painting your nails. Putting glitter on your nails. It could be buying an eyeshadow. It could be going out with your friends on a Friday night. It could be watching your favorite movie on a rainy Saturday morning. It could be taking selfies. It could be talking to somebody. It could be taking a 3-hour bath with beautiful scented candles and, I don't know, Fall Out Boy playing in the background or something. It could be going to a concert. It could be trying new things. It could be going for a jog. It could be going for a walk. It could be photographing flowers, petting dogs, brushing your hair, taking a shower, taking a very extra long shower, crying, watching funny YouTube videos and crying, watching sad YouTube videos and crying, watching YouTube videos, watching cute British YouTubers. Okay. I could go on and on and on about self-care. Anybody can do self-care. Anybody, everybody should do self-care. And like I said, it's going to transition to the end of my video. Conclusions, essays, you know, stuff like that. Everybody should love themselves. And it's a very, very hard thing to do because of all the things I said with corporations and capitalism and conditioned brainwashing, media. Certain individuals in your life who've been brainwashed to think a certain way and projects their own insecurities onto you. Stuff like that. The whole journey into loving yourself and self-acceptance can be very long. It can be easy. It can be very, very, very difficult. It could take a month or months, years, decades. But what's important is reaching it. Every step you take is important. The day you wake up and you don't hate yourself, or you try something new, or you do something you've never done before, or not breaking your New Year's resolutions, or creating New Year's resolutions that don't have anything to do with dieting and losing weight, accepting yourself, accepting your mind and your body, really anything. Anything can be a part of accepting yourself and loving yourself, and it's a very important thing. I think I went on a tangent. I made this video because I made my own New Year's resolution. And that was to finally actually make videos, because I've been wanting to do it since 2007 or 2008. When was TITV on? What? And so I decided that I'm going to start making videos, and I was thinking, what am I good at talking about? And I'm good at talking about this. Because I've gone through it. And I'm still going through it. I hope that my message reached at least one person, maybe two. I hope to be making more videos. So I hope you enjoyed my fashion do's and don'ts. And I'm sorry that the title was essentially misleading, and I went on tangents and I rambled, or waffled is a new word I learned, about nothing at times, or it didn't make any sense. The point is, there are certain things you need to learn, certain things you need to not do because they're rude and awful and gross, and then there are things you need to do for yourself. So I hope that you enjoyed this. Maybe you learned something, and maybe you could watch more videos as I post them. I don't want to say like and subscribe because that's weird, because I only made one real video. But I hope maybe you share this to anybody who needs it. Alright, I'm gonna go. Bye!